Welcome back, guys. So we're getting into a topic here that a lot of men are slaves to. So this is the last video you'll ever need on quitting adult entertainment, ever. Apparently, my man dives in deep on why you shouldn't. Let's see.
My brother, if you can just give me 10, 15, 20 minutes of your time, I can guarantee you this addiction, by the end of this video, will be gone.
Let's get it.
It will be vanished from your life, or you'll be doing it 10 times less than you normally do. And I can make that promise to you if you just log in, do yourself a favor.
Good sales pitch.
Implement the things I'm going to tell you. This applies to everybody. It doesn't matter if you do this once every 30 days, once a day, 3 or 4 times a day. It doesn't matter. Okay? This applies to everybody. And as you can see, we're going to be using a house to represent this. When your house collapses, that is an equivalent of a relapse. So our goal today is to ensure that this house does not collapse due to wind, hurricanes, floods, natural disasters. I'm going to explain to you how you can quit this stuff like you're a 5-year-old. Okay? Let's get straight into it. I'm not here to waste your time. My camera's on like 10%. We need to do this quick. Now,
let's get it.
Most of you have just built this house. There's nothing to hold it up. The first thing that you need when you're building a strong house that's not going to get affected by external things such as wind, you need to build a foundation. Some of you already have this foundation. I'll get to you in a minute. Let's start with the boys who are new to this. You need to build this foundation. Now, what is a foundation in real life? A foundation is your reason for quitting, the reason why you want to quit watching porn. I want you to ask yourself right now, why did I click on this video? Yeah. Why do I want to quit watching porn? How is this affecting my life? You need this, okay? You need this reason. If you don't have it, click off this video and go and do some journaling. Yeah. Once you have this reason, let's say that this is affecting your confidence with women, right? You need to ask yourself, how will no confidence with women affect my life negatively? If you have no confidence to go out there and talk to girls, you may never find your dream wife. If you never find your dream wife, you'll never be able to start your own family. You'll never be able to have a kid.
These are great exercises to play mentally of where this path could lead you down. For the guys that have done the Spartan challenge, it pops up at the end of these videos a bunch of times, or just search Spartan on the channel if you haven't seen it already. One of the tenets on there is quitting adult entertainment. It was shocking to me just how difficult not jerking off every single day was for the average guy attempting that. Eating clean was simple. Giving up video games for the allotted time was simple. Stopping jacking off was something that was causing all dudes basically to fail the challenge. Imagine if I bet you $10,000 that you couldn't touch yourself for 30 days, a vast majority of you would fail. That's how crazy this addiction is. You don't even know you're actually addicted. You don't even know that you rewired your neurons to seek cheap dopamine. You don't even know that the only reason that you're tugging it is to de-stress yourself from whatever mediocre life or shit that's going on in your life is triggering you to do that. It's not even for pleasure. At one point, it's just for coping. It's shocking the amount of men that simply tug it for stress relief instead of pleasure. That's a wild one to wrap your mind around. A lot of guys are slaves to this, which we all know then will lead into the rabbit hole of the degenerate content you begin to consume, which messes with your brain and how you view women and how you view sex. There's guys that can't even get it up anymore, so they have erectile dysfunction or performance anxiety in the first place. Their own woman, by the way. There's guys that are in relationships that are addicted to this stuff, consuming it daily, and are out there just tugging it on the side instead of having sex with their own women and then fail to get it up. Their own women can't get them excited anymore. That's an issue. And there are dudes that'll naturally cope in the comment section saying, well, what else am I supposed to do? You're addicted, brother. That's what a person that's dependent sounds like.
Yeah. Imagine the pain of that. That pain is so much scarier than being absent from porn. You need to find this pain and need to, replace the pleasure of 2 or 3 seconds of busting a nut with a lifelong pleasure of starting a family. That might be a reason for you quitting. Another reason might be making money. It doesn't matter. Find your reason. Now, once you have your reason, most of you, I would say most of you watching this video, have your foundation, you have your goal, you have your reason for quitting, but it's not strong enough. What you need to do is build a foundation under the foundation or build a foundation on the foundation. Let's say you have to set an ambitious goal. The more ambitious your goal, the more porn's probably going to affect actually achieving that. So the bigger your foundation probably is. Let's say you want to be a millionaire in 3 years' time. Millionaire, 3 years' time. Okay, you have your reason. You want to retire your parents. You want to retire your family. You want to have location freedom, time freedom. You want to do what you love every single day. These are all your reasons. Okay, and porn is holding you back from doing that because you keep waking up late. You have no social skills. You can't network with people. You can't put quality time into your business. So many reasons because you're distracted by fucking booty and ass. I meant to say boobs and ass, but that's fine. Let's say you want to be a millionaire in 3 years' time. I'm not a big fan of this, but what you can do is just go and tell your parents, I'm going to retire you in 3 years. Go and tell your friends, I'm going to be a millionaire in 3 years' time. Hear them doubt you. Tell social media, I'm going to be a millionaire in 3 years' time. You tell your parents, boom. You tell your friends, boom. There is so much pressure on you to not watch this shit because it's holding you back from being that person, right? You make this stronger. These are like your individual goals. Yeah, like to retire your family. You've told your parents, you told your friends, you told social media. You have to do this now. That is just an example. Okay. You might add to your foundation in a different way. Doesn't necessarily mean telling people. It doesn't mean that. Find a way to make this stronger. Put pressure on yourself. You need a little bit. If you have been struggling with this shit for years upon years, bro, nothing changes if nothing changes. Simple. Nothing changes if nothing changes. You need to add something to this. Just experiment. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
By the way, in the private community, when you get into the Spartan challenge, you have to write a pledge. The point is what he's talking about right there is because you're pledging, it's a promise to yourself, but you're also writing it out, letting everyone in the community know what you're doing. And then you have to check in daily and let us know how you're succeeding or failing, because the sting of being seen as a failure by multiple people you may befriend in the community, is going to push you into making sure that you do what you need to do and not consume that stuff. Also, it's good because you get to read other people and their struggles in overcoming this addiction, which helps keep you on the path as well. Because again, you're not the only one that's struggling with this. It's not a unique problem to you only. There's millions of men that have these issues, and seeing how everybody's going through it will empower you so you don't become a slave to this. So making the consequences real is one way in how you quit this, which is social shame.
Parents, I don't know, you're going to be a millionaire in 3 years, and if you don't like the idea, tell them it's a joke tomorrow. Just see. Okay? These are just examples of that. So, you've got your foundation. That's all good. You got that? Now, what's this? These are the actions you put in place every single day, which is stemmed from this. So, you need to create this before you create this. So many of you create this, which is your actions, your habits, before you create this. It doesn't work. If you don't have this, you might stay consistent for a day. You might have a really good day. You might have a productive day. You wake up at 5:30, you hit a workout, you go and cold approach some women, you work on your business for a couple of hours, you study for a couple of hours, but you can't keep this up for a couple of days. You go 2-3 days of consistency and then you give up. So, the best advice I can give you, once you have built your foundation, build a house that is directly related to the foundation. It's not, your foundation isn't really small, but then your house is really big. Your foundation isn't very big, but then your house is really small. You want it to match, okay? If you want to be a millionaire in 3 years' time, spend more time trying to make money. And your second goal is to get a girlfriend. Spend less time trying to get a girlfriend and more time trying to make money. That's how you do it. It needs to reflect what's on the bottom. Yeah? Simple. That's really it. That's really all you need here. Now, what most of you do, when this win comes along, tries to, fuck you up, put you in a slump. Yeah? What most of you do, what I've done so many times, it's really normal. you will have one relapse. You will relapse once.
Mm-hmm.
And this wind will take out one window. One window represents one relapse. Okay. And let's say like 6 or 7 relapses represents your whole house collapsing. Okay. Just because a window breaks doesn't mean you ruin your whole progress. Just because you relapse at 3 p.m. doesn't mean you relapse 3 or 4 times a day. 3 or 4 times that day, and then you do it tomorrow and you do it the next day.
That's an important distinction guys have to make too, especially the ones that are addicted to porn or video games or whatever, and they go back and play them. They're trying to quit them because they're addicted. Everything in moderation, bro. We're not talking about the guys that can moderate their usage perfectly fine. We're talking about the guys that are addicted and it's taking away from their quality of life. So if you're one of these people and you failed once, you're not a failure. You simply hit a roadblock and you must continue. There are guys that will spiral out of control, and just because they tug their chicken once, they'll go and tug their chicken 6 times more that day because I've ruined all my progress. Your progress is not ruined. You've had an entire week where you haven't touched yourself, and then you finally did it once because, hey, stress in life that was introduced, or bad news from family, or something going wrong at work, or whatever it is, it caused you to lose control and you've relapsed once. That's fine. You journal that stuff. You log it in the daily check-ins of the Spartan Challenge. You let everybody know that you failed, and it's fine. You simply stay the course again. It's cool. Start again. Hopefully you could get another week, maybe a week and a half this time. And you'll see that you went from every day 3-4 times a day to once in a while, until, oh, I don't really need to do it anymore. Or, oh, wow, my sex drive is back now. My attraction to my woman's back now. We're now having regular intercourse and I'm actually able to keep my erection, and sex, the quality has gotten so much better and she's so much happier and our relationship is getting so much stronger. A lot of stuff like this changes. Other guys will report, wow, it's like the energy I'm getting now. It's making me more aggressive, more of a risk taker. Like I want to talk to that girl now. I want to get to know her now. I feel more emboldened to go say hello and get her number now, instead of, coping and jacking off when I get home. And then I lose all my drive and ambition to go say hello because I've already got that need out in a cheap way through a TV, through a monitor, through your phone.
And you go the whole week being lazy. No, just because one window cracks doesn't mean you collapse your whole house, all right? You learn why this broke. Why did it break?
Yep.
Why did the wind hit this instead of this? Why did the wind hit this window instead of this door? You might have had an unproductive day because of external circumstances. Maybe your foundation was strong, but something else caused you to relapse. That's fine. All you can do is learn from it. Now, you kind of have to, ignore the house concept for this one. Let me stand in the middle. You kind of have to ignore the house concept for this. But when you do encounter an urge, you have a gust of wind, you have a hurricane, however strong the urge is. A hurricane is a really strong urge. Look, if your house is built strong enough, you're fine. But once you encounter this, I want you to observe the wind. I want you to observe the disaster that's about to collapse your house. Okay. Can you control this? This is where the house example doesn't really matter. It doesn't really, align. Can you control the root cause of the urge? Okay. You might get an urge because your family are having problems and you're stuck in your room all day. You don't even want to go out. Because your family is constantly fighting. You can't necessarily control that. Something you can control is you waking up at 7 a.m. instead of 5 a.m. like you said. That's something you can control. So I want you to separate your urges.
And by the way, when you do get these urges, they tend to lessen over time if you replace the time you have where there's nothing to do, where you're bored. What you would have otherwise done was tug your chicken with something more productive, something physical, going out for a walk, taking your mind off the urge itself by doing something physical, working out extra hours at the gym. That means for some of you guys, you need to go 2 times a day, or you need to increase the intensity to such an amount where you're actually exhausted when you get home and the urge to tug it has been lessened. You need to get your sexual energy out in a physical pursuit, right? You need to get this energy out of you because we live sedentary lives. You have this pent up energy. Then you introduce stress on top. Then the urge becomes amplified and you lose control and you do it again. So understand that the urge is always there. It's just amplified by stress and by a sedentary lifestyle. So what can you do to manage that is become active, become physical, which will take care of the stress. Physical activities help you manage stress. If you're very physical and you go do stuff, go for hikes, go for walks, go to the gym, go on a run, something, jumping jacks in your room, go for sit-ups, something. You must go out and do something, get your body moving, get away from sitting down, get away from watching the screen all day, get away from being in your own head. When you're bored, the urge hits you. When you're stressed, the urge hits you. When you're sitting down with nothing to do, the urge comes and creeps back up. This stuff is where you need to have this physical pursuit, which will help dull the urge dramatically. That's one thing that men will find when they're trying to quit, say video games or porn, is that the time you would have spent doing those things needs to be replaced by something else. You need to be kept busy.
What's causing the urges? Can you control them? Can I not control them? Something you cannot control is just urges out of nowhere. They just pop up in your mind. You know, your favorite videos, they just pop up in your mind and you want to go and do them. You want to go and watch them. If you can control it, change it. Simple. Change it. Do something about it, bro. It's the best advice I can give you. If you can't control it, I know it sounds really selfish and just really like, just shit, but it's true. You need to learn to live with it. You need to learn to cope with it. I know it's really bad, especially if you're in a dark space. I know, bro. I've been through it. All right? I've been through it. Not probably what some of you guys have been through, but I've definitely had urges that have come from just a dark place in my life. I know what it's like, bro, but you need to have this house built and you need to transmute this energy that you're getting, this dark feeling, this depression, this sadness, whatever it is, and you just need to try your best to creating a better house, bro. That's what you need. That's what you need to do. All right. You've got your foundation. You've got your goals. I hope this makes sense. I'm trying to explain this as simple as I can for you. Okay. Now, my camera's on 3%, so we have to hurry up. Last thing I want to tell you that is very, very important, and it applies to this and this. Your urges. One of the reasons your urges are so strong is because you put so much pedestal on porn. You put it up here, even though it's not even that good. It's not even enjoyable. Are you smiling while you're jacking off? Are you smiling while you're busting a nut? Are you smiling while you're watching two people do it? No, you're not. Okay. And you don't actually enjoy it. It is just a perfect way to escape how you're feeling.
Exactly. Imagine having a camera, like recording yourself, be on your computer while you're looking for videos, while you're jacking it, while you bust and they're finished. Just watch that recording of yourself. See how disgusted you are. Look at your face, the expressions on your face. It's like you said, there's no joy there. There's no happiness. You're just endlessly, mindlessly scrolling. Some people scroll for hours to find the perfect video to nut to. That's how addicted they are. And just look at how you look, right? Almost like an out-of-body experience. You need the third-person view of how you are. That could be a trigger strong enough for you to quit. If you see what you look like while you're in the act.
That's it. It's a perfect way for 90% of people. It is a perfect way to escape what you're feeling. Okay? So, I want you to change your perspective on this stuff. It's not actually enjoyable. When you go and do it, you're not actually having a good time. You're just escaping from whatever you're feeling. And it's a perfect way to forget about everything. You're not thinking about anything else while you're watching that stuff, are you? But if you go for a run, which is another term of, escaping from your thoughts are still there. Okay? So look at porn as just that, a source of escape. How can we escape a different way? Exercise is a perfect example, but a perfect example is habits that align with your foundation, align with your goals. These are perfect ways to escape these thoughts. Or what you can do is you can observe these thoughts. You can dive into a meditation. Okay, really observe. I can't go deeper than this because my camera is about to die, but you get my point. You can reduce the power of these urges by simply changing your perspective on the corn, bro.
Facts. Well put by this young guy. His name's Jack Piggott. If you want to watch more of his content, highly recommend it. I don't know anything else about his channel, but dude's putting out solid content just from that video alone. Love it. For all the guys struggling, that can be a way you break any addiction, not just adult entertainment. As someone who's been off P for about a year now, I can tell you the happiness and energy that you had when you were a kid comes back. Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. I was just getting the urge to break my no-fap streak, but I got a notification this banger dropped. This is me doing nothing, wasting my time, overweight, no girlfriend, no proper life. I promise myself under 1 year I will change everything about me. I once heard someone say that when you're trying to hold an addiction off and feel the urge to relapse, it's a sign that you're healing. This helped me a lot. Stay strong, brethren. Yeah, good points. Let me know what you guys think on episodes like this. Amazing points. Let me know what you guys think, how you're struggling with some of your addictions, whatever they may be. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe, follow his channel as well. Leave it up there for you guys. Appreciate everybody that's been joining the private community, hopping on calls, sharing some wisdom, buying shirts, private consultations. All that helps the channel directly. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Stay strong, brothers. Do not fall for your addictions. There is a way out, and the other side is always much better. Take care, everybody.